All right, so I think it's getting about time that I update that fly in and everything. Probably need to change that now that things have changed so much. All right, guys. So I know it's early in the morning. This is an unannounced live, and you don't have to watch it live. It's just easier than trying to edit what I'm about to do today. So, as many of you may be aware, and I'll try to show you the screen as we move forward. I'm assuming my audio and everything's working good. I had to do a little bit of rearranging. But for those of you that aren't aware, we will be having our meet and greet 2025 is coming this Friday here in Chilton County, Alabama. I've got several of my friends here locally that will be participating with us in the meet and greet. But I wanted to do something special for the guys and gals that watch the Shack here on the channel. So that's what we're going to be doing. Why is my screen a little off-centered right there? That's something's up with that. Hang on, I'm going to fix that right quick, guys. So I wanted to do something for you guys that would hopefully, yeah, my screen's all weird. Would hopefully be something that y'all would be interested in. So let me center this up, fix this a little bit. And so I decided that, I've got all these machines that I review. I don't keep all of them. I do work with local makers and stuff like that to rehome some of the machines and so forth. But what I want to do is I want to give back to you guys, the guys that watch the channel, the ones of you that know who I am, all that kind of stuff. And some of these machines are too big for me to give away the way that I traditionally do it. A lot of you guys know that I do ship out smaller machines that are, easy to keep up with the box and stuff like that. But there's also machines that's not that easy to disassemble, not that easy to repackage, and some of them are just economically rough to be trying to ship out as well. So this is a collection of stuff that's got to get out of my way because I got new stuff coming in, and I want to give it back to you guys free of charge. All you got to do is come to the event. Now, for you guys that can't be there, don't be hating. I'm sorry. But I do have other machines, smaller machines that I ship out pretty regular. I think I've been shipping out about one machine a month here lately. And for, I do that mostly in my members area. Not to say that you got to be a member to do it, but I do rehome a lot of stuff in there. So there's that. But this stuff right here, if you're a viewer, if you see this video, if you go and you fill out the form to enter the drawing, you're going to get to take your pick. If you win the drawing, you're going to get to take your pick of the machines that I'm going to be bringing with me to the event of which one you would like to have. I'm working on a list, and that's kind of what I'm doing today. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be taking some pictures, working on a list to put together for what exactly is going to be in the giveaway. That way I can put that out on Facebook or, whatever. And so you guys can look at it. You can watch this video. You can look at it and decide beforehand, when we get there, which machine you'd like to have. Because instead of doing a form for each machine, which is what I was going to do, that was going to create a logistical nightmare for me because every time I got another machine to draw on, I was going to have to spin the wheel. I got to download the file. I got to put it in the wheel and then spin it. And I got to get another file and spin. So that was going to be a little hectic. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm only going to let folks win, like if they win multiples, I'm only going to let them win one. It seems to me it would be just as well to just let you pick. So what we will do is the first person that gets to spin the wheel or first person that gets drawn when the wheel is spun, you pick which one you want. If it's a laser, that's cool. If it's a CNC, that's cool. Whatever you want, you pick. Then the next person, when they spin the wheel, they get to pick from what's left. And then you see the process here. So if you're the last person that gets gets spun, you might not have much selection. But I can tell you, if you're into lasers and CNCs, any one of them would be pretty cool for a free tool to play with. I've got one CNC that I'm not really big on because it's not real sturdy. But for a free machine to play with, I mean, you could go get a laser module and put on it. It would be fine. It's not the electronics of the machine. It's just not rigid enough for me to call a CNC. Some of you may, you may just want something to scratch on wood, and, you may like it. I'm not so much. So we're going to go over what those machines are to give you guys an idea, and also to have a video out there for everybody that's planning on coming to the event. You can watch it you can listen to it on the way down, you can watch it once you get here, whatever, but that way you'll know what to expect when we get there. Because I have been digging all through here, because guys, I didn't realize where I had machines stuck everywhere. And I try to keep some of this stuff out of here. But since I had heard about this meet and greet, I had been trying to retain some gear to give you guys. So let me check the comments real quick, and then we'll get started on going through what all of this stuff is that's going to be in the drawing. And some of you, like I said, some of you may not want the most expensive prize that I have. You may be like, I got one of those, or I don't like that machine. I want this, because there's some pretty good stuff going to be given out. But you're going to need to make sure whatever you pick, make sure you can get it in your car. Because, like, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Where's it at? Hang on. See that right there on the hand trucks? That's big. That's heavy. So you're going to need to make sure you have the ability to haul that if you win it, if you pick it. So, and then there's a CNC over there that's not real heavy, but you're going to need to have a little room to set that thing. So that's where we're at today. So we'll go through the comments, make sure, say hey, answer questions that anybody may have. If you don't already know, again, before we go further, if you go to the CLACKShack.com, which would be right here, you go to the CLACKShack.com. That's my website. If you didn't already know that, there's some tabs up here at the top. I usually throw things up here from time to time that you guys might be interested in. Right here is the link to the meet and greet. You click on that, and there's a little dedicated page on my website that goes to the meet and greet. It shows you everything that you need to know as far as the event location and everything, how to get there. There's a map right here you can click, and that'll literally show you where it is on Google Earth. So there shouldn't be anybody getting lost, hopefully, if you have a smartphone or computer. Also, there's a link right here to the Facebook event, which is pretty cool, because this is kind of the event on Facebook that you can get in here and post and be like, hey, I'm on my way, I'm coming to it, I'm glad to see you guys, whatever. It's more or less just an event. There's also links to other co-hosts of the event that I asked you guys to support. Go to their channel if you like that kind of stuff and check them out. Different things from quilting to making reefs and stuff. My other channel, hint, y'all can go check that one out if you haven't already. As well as, of course, the Clack Shack. Now, some of the other channels haven't joined. I don't know if they don't know how to do it or what, but there are other channels that are participating that weren't on that. And I've got a list of them. Like if you go up here, like May made it, you can go up here and you can click on these little icons and it'll take you to their page and so forth. So I try to make this as all inclusive as I could as far as information, finding information, figuring out who people are and everything. So there you go. We also have some eating establishments here. I plan to kind of go maybe do a little bit of a walk around and show you guys a little bit about Clinton and highlight some of these places today. That's kind of my plan for this afternoon once I get all this stuff boxed up into the trailer. So you got Pies by Mike, Main Street Cafe, the Dinner Bell, home of the chicken livers right here. Frozen Goat. This is a local small. All these are, by the way, all of these are locally owned small businesses owned by entrepreneurs. These are not chain restaurants that have a national footprint or anything like that. These are small businesses in my community that I try to help promote and represent. And then down here, my wife, y'all know she works at the Chamber of Commerce. She has provided us some links. These are links for local hotels as well as local restaurants. Y'all know how hotels go. Some are better than others. Some are more expensive, that kind of thing. So, but there's a list for you to shop around and look at that. And this is also her restaurant list, which The restaurants there, those are restaurants that are members of the Chamber of Commerce. So some of those could be, you know, the big brands or whatever. But this list up here of the creator suggested ones, those are strictly mom and pop, family owned, local things. So parking and accessibility. I have had a few questions about where to park, how to go about getting in there or whatever. You've got, when you go around to the back of the building, you'll click on the map up there. And when you pull up in the driveway, you're going to come off the road. And when you go around behind the building here, all this is going to be the parking. There's going to be a door like right there. That's where you're going to come in. And then once you get inside, this is a big hall back here. You're going to want to go right here, and then back down to the left. The meet and greet's actually going to be in this end of the building right here. So we're going to kind of be like in the, I guess it would be the southeast corner of the building over here. So May's Maydates will be in this area, but we're going to try to have a little directional indicators there. You can probably come in this door if they have it open, but if you need, you know, if you're not good at steps or need a ramp, then you're going to need to come in right here. So that's the information as far as the event, all that. Like I said, go to my CLACKShack.com to go get more information, and there should be a link down below also to the sign up form. Now, for the meet and greet giveaway, this is what you're all interested in. All right, what I did on my main page, if you go to my main page, theclackshack.com, and you scroll down, here's the countdown to the meet and greet. All right, this is basically just letting you know how long it is, and there's a little button right here. It says sign up to win. When you click said little button right here, it's going to take you to a little sign up form that to enter the Clack Shack cleanout. All right, all you got to do is put your email address in here and hit the enter Shack cleanout button. When you do that, it's going to send you an email to whatever email address you put here. So if you misspell, mispronounce, or whatever your email address here, you're not going to receive it. So what you want to do is put your email address in there, hit this button to submit it, and we'll do that right quick. I'm going to put my clackshack.com email address in there. You're going to hit the enter the drawing, and it's going to tell you nearly done. We need to confirm your email address to complete the sign up process. Please click the link in the email we just sent you. All right, so I can't show you all my emails. Y'all been getting people's email addresses. So when you do that, you're going to get this email right here. All right. And once you get this email, there's a little note from me on there. You can read that. Thank you. I appreciate you. And you're going to hit confirm subscription. When you do that, this page is going to pop up that says, thank you for confirming. Until you see, thank you for confirming, you're not in the drawing. So make sure you do that. I don't want anybody to get left out because you didn't do that. If you suspect for whatever reason that your drawing did not go through, you may try it again, but it's only going to pull your name out of the hat one time. So if you see that, thank you for entering the drawing, once you see that confirmation on the screen, you're good to go. But if for whatever reason you don't see the email, check your spam folder, make sure that your spam folder didn't block it or whatever, and click that email and go ahead and get signed up. So if you plan on coming, and if you're already in here, feel free to go ahead and sign up with the form. I'm going to let that thing collect email addresses all the way up until I'd say probably the morning of the event, like before the event starts that morning, like, because the event doesn't start until, was it 10? So that morning when I get up and start getting ready to go, I'm going to pull down the names and put them in the software. So you've got until then. That is going to be, we'll say that Friday morning at 6 a.m. because I'm not going to be up at 6. So as long as I do the cutoff before I wake up, you're good. So as of now, the deadline to sign up is going to be Friday morning at 6 a.m. That's the deadline. Friday morning at 6 a.m. So get your name on that list. Like I said, all you got to do is put your email address in, hit the button to sign up. Once you get that email address, click that confirmation button. And then once you click that confirmation button, you'll get that little pop-up saying, welcome to the drawing or whatever. and you're good. So just do that. And you know, I know that's a little aggravation having to go and click, but that's to make sure that that is a valid email address that I collected. Because if for whatever reason it's not, or if I don't, you know, if I need to send you an email or something, it's got to work. So the Jonathan, the official opening is going to be at 10 o'clock that day. Of course, I'll be there earlier getting set up and everything, but 10 o'clock is going to be when we're actually going to be in position and start talking to people. If you get there before that, I'm going to put you to work, toting stuff or whatever. So I wouldn't recommend that. But I'm going to be taking my trailer with all of this stuff in the trailer. That's kind of what we're doing today. Is I'm going to be getting everything ready, getting it loaded. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything with this. I've even, like, these little CNCs in the past, I have shipped CNCs out and forgot to put like some of the little default bits in there and stuff. I did remember that. So I've put some default bits in with the CNCs that I have. So they're not the best bits in the world. Y'all gonna have to go see my buddy Cody over at Cadence Manufacturing if you want some Genie bits. Or until you get used to it, my recommendation, go on Amazon, Spee Tools, SPETOOLS, and you can use my Amazon link to do that if you'd like. But Spee Tools are good beginner bits. They're not going to last forever. You're going to get them dull, but it's a lot less stressful when you snap one if you're not used to using CNCs. So that may be something that you want to do in the beginning. Go ahead and get you some Genie bits. I mean, you can go ahead and buy them, have them on standby, get them ready so that when you get comfortable, you can throw one in there. But what I would recommend, give it a little while before you start putting any of the good bits in there, because it'll hurt your feelings. Because the Spee Tool bits, even though they're not the best bits in the world, they will work. You can do projects with them. And if you break them, it's like $5 instead of 30, you know. So it's a lot less of a pain in the rear end when you see one of them snap. So, all right. Any more questions? Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? I do need to go back to these comments because I called myself looking. Good morning, David Allen. How are you? I'll try to actually go through the names today because there's not that many people here so far. LTX Designs, hello. Three Sons Signs, how are you? Philip Hoyt, Warren Meyer, William Talmage, David Allen, that's the guy with a good name. Randall Broughton, Trade Skillers, JR, what's up, sir? How are you? Jonathan A, live a few hours away. Would love, well, there you go, Jonathan. Throw your name in the hat for the drawing. Now you do got to be there. Like I said, you do got to be there to win and take it with you, because the stuff that I'm giving away, I'm not bringing it back home. Once it leaves this property, it's not coming back. It's going with somebody. So, hello from Newton Abbey, Belfast, North Ireland, UK. Wow, that's a long way off. Welcome, Joseph. I hope you like it. Plenty of content. If it's something you're into, come check us out. Chuck Peterson, hello, good morning, sir. Jim Pierce, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. The members area is, like I said, I try to give you guys, I don't give a lot of, like, I don't do a whole lot. There are some members only lives occasionally when I'm just like, don't feel like a big crowd. And there are some perks as far as, you know, some of the peripheral stuff here at the shack. So appreciate you. Chris Gallagher, how are you, sir? Philip Hoyt says, looking forward to the meeting Friday. Well, good deal. Glad to hear you're going to be making it. Come on down and hang out with us. Mike, there'll be more chances, I hope. That's the plan, is as I get more comfortable in retirement and get a little more flexibility in my finances, I plan on doing a few events around the country and doing a little bit of driving and traveling, some road trips. And when I start doing those little road trips, like say if I was going up to like where Steve lives or something, there may be like, could figure out where I'm going to be stopping for overnighting, you know, to sleep or whatnot. And there may be some little dots on the map for some little meetups, just a nice dinner or something like that. I did have a couple people message me saying they were coming into town Thursday night and wanted to know about, you know, something to do. I've got one email / phone number so far. I do plan on trying to do something Thursday night. to like, just if nothing else, just go out and get some food, hang out, talk shop for a little while, give those folks that's going to be here that night a little bit more, a little more interaction. And it's cool for me to have somebody talk shop too, because there's, other than Klein and a couple of other guys that are like surrounding areas that I don't talk to a whole lot, I don't get to talk shop a lot. And then when I do, sometimes people are just like, they tune me out because they're like, I don't care about this. This chair is so squeaky. I'm going to wind up getting me a new chair. Andrew Young says, hope you have a great turnout. I'm in Nova Scotia, so I can't make it. Oh, absolutely. I understand, Andrew. And the way I look at it, if it's like, because I've done events where I've had, I think the most I've had show up at, this was just at like craft events, was probably 10 in a day. And that would just blow my socks off. That was just amazing to me. So it's good to get to meet you guys. So it's not like, I'm not expecting it to be, big lines and just people standing in line waiting on me or whatever. I don't expect that. I'm nobody. I'm just there to have a good time. Now there's some of the other channels, like my buddy Jason, I'm sure he'll have a line. He always has a line, but they have massive channels with a big following. So it's not really me. Let's see. Thank you, sir. I should be on time. I'm an hour and 45 minutes away. Yep. Cool, Jonathan. We'll see you. Like I said, I'll see you Friday. I will have a limited number of shirts to give away. I can't give everybody one, but I plan on at least like if there's more than 10 people show up, which I don't know, there may be, who knows, then I may have to do something. But I plan on probably about 10 t-shirts being able to, the first few people that show up. So we'll see how that goes. Jonathan said he'd be there and bringing the wife also, trying to get her into lasers and such. Yeah, if you could sell the wife on it, it makes it easier to get stuff. Howard says, watch your stuff and always take away good advice. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, Peter, you're probably not going to make it 16 hours and 50, I'm guessing, minutes from South Pretoria. That's a long way, because I don't even know where that's at for sure. I know where South Africa is, but I could not put a dot on a map at Pretoria. So anyway, this is what we got. Now I got the comments caught up, so we're gonna go through it. I do have a wireless mic on tonight or today, so if it's terrible, I'm sorry, but I knew I was gonna be moving around the shop, and so I didn't want to be like hollering across the room. So again, I will drop the form link in chat here as well. I did put it in the description of the video, so if you're watching this after the fact, there's a link in the description of the video as well as this in here. What's a different place for this? Jim, we always do giveaways. Like, we have the Christmas show will be massive. That one is not like, you don't have to be there on the Christmas show. That one will be massive. And a lot of times we'll have like other events when we do like Amazon gift cards and stuff like that. I do give away some of the smaller machines a lot of times. I have drawings for those. A lot of times the announcements and stuff for like that, does end up with my members area, because those are folks that, they've been around, they stick around. And so a lot of that stuff does end up that way. But we do have partnerships with other companies. And I know the Christmas show this year is going to be big. Like, it's to the point where it may be too big that we have to throttle it back a little bit, because we've got companies wanting to participate and they're wanting to give away some really nice things for the Christmas giveaway. We don't want to get too deep into what all is going to be there, because we haven't put the final like coat of paint on that one. But it will be, I will tell you, the Christmas giveaway this year, which is going to be the Sunday before Christmas, that show is going to be big. So, and we've also going to have our 3-year anniversary coming up, and we try to do something for that as well. So yeah, it's there's going to be plenty of opportunities for some stuff. I try to give back to you guys when I can, and like, this stuff is stuff that didn't really cost me a lot of money. So especially doing pickup, like, because it would suck to have to take these machines, try to take these machines apart and put them back in the boxes, which I don't keep the boxes because I have nowhere to keep all these boxes. Because sometimes these machines, you have to keep them for months. Like I've got a couple of machines right now that I would love to get out of my way. But I have to keep them for a long time because, you know, if there's something comes up with the machine, needs to be tested, or if there's additional components that goes on the machine that come out. So you wind up a lot of times reviewing this stuff can be a bit of a pain because you get stuck with stuff like that you don't really, because some of these machines are good machines, but I'm not crazy about them. Like I don't like them for what I do. And so sometimes you get stuck with it and you can't get it out of here. And so I can't keep all the boxes stacked up. I do keep some of the boxes. I did manage to find a few boxes for a couple of the machines so that I can at least put it back in some packaging to protect it, you know, in transit. But a lot of the stuff, I have no boxes to put it back in. And I don't want to take it apart after I've put it together, adjusted it, tested it, made sure it worked. Everything works like it's supposed to. I don't want to take it apart and then you have to get it. And maybe you're not somebody that's really good at putting machines together. Maybe your mechanical knowledge is limited, or like a lot of folks, you know, I have a little bit of trouble with like my hands cramp up and stuff like that when I'm doing a lot of these little tiny things. But a lot of folks just don't want to put something together because of, you know, maybe it's a physical restriction that you have, some arthritis or something like that, that just makes it not a fun experience. Well, these are already put together. So especially the CNCs. And I really hate, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really hate to part with those two CNCs that's on the front right there, but I don't need them, guys. And me and my wife were talking about it the other day. I don't want to be a pack rat, and I don't have the space to be a pack rat because I ain't gonna know where to keep them. But I've got two really nice, like they're small, but really nice, really capable CNCs over there that somebody's gonna get to take home. So that's pretty cool. Well, James, if you bring in your wife, I'm not saying you can, I'm not saying you can't, but make sure you have her email address put in the drawing. I mean, because if your wife that wins it and she don't want it, then maybe she'll let you have it, you know? I'm not going to be checking to see if both people in the family are both, I mean, if you bring your 6 kids, you know what I mean? As long as it's a different person, I'm good with it. But I don't want, you know, if you got 9 email addresses, don't game it up like that. But well, yeah, well, in a way, I guess I am a little bit of a pack rat because I do like toys. I do like playing with these machines, but a lot of it, seriously, a lot of it is the fact that some of these machines, when they come out, I do a couple of videos on them. And then if there's a problem, like with a software, or if there's a problem that people are having that I see is pretty pronounced, I'll go back and try to see if I can figure out a fix for it or figure out how to work around it. And so I like to try to keep them for a little while for that, but it gets to the point where you can't. And from a business perspective, I don't need other machines in my way that I'm not using fairly frequently. And that's kind of where I'm at, is when I get machines, a lot of times I'll continue to use some of these other machines in my business doing jobs. But when it gets to where I'm looking around the shop going, I haven't used that machine in 6 months on anything, then I think at that point it needs to leave here. You know what I mean? Because it's not doing me any good. And there are other people out there that maybe don't have the means to get the machine, or just, you know, because sometimes, hey, I know how it is. Sometimes it's not that you don't have the money to get stuff. It's that you don't need to spend it on things that, you know, aren't going to make you money or aren't going to benefit your situation. I'm in that case. I'm in that situation right now. I would love to have me a bigger shop, but financially, smart money says save your money, stay in the shop that you're in, expand your business, and go from there. Don't spend your money on something that you don't got to have. So I get it. I absolutely understand how it is, because I would love to have something a little better insulated, especially with cool weather coming, because it gets a little hot in the summer in here and a little cool in the winter, even with the mini split. And it's because the building was not insulated properly, wasn't constructed properly. It was literally a shack. It was a pole barn that I've turned into a shop. It works, but I could really use something a little more professionally built. Jeffrey, it's going to be the giveaway from. Matter of fact, I guess I could put the event up there again. It's the meet and greet that we're doing in Chilton County, the Chilton County meet and greet, and I will put a link over here in the comments. So there you go, right there. And I guess I could also create a folder here, create a banner. Look at that. I'm going to throw a banner up and y'all be able to see it. Well, it said it was. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, there you go. So that is the event that we're talking about, and we'll leave that down there if you guys show up that maybe weren't aware of it. But let me get back to my comments. But I know you can't really click that, but it's pretty easy. If you just literally go to Google and type in the Clack Shack events or the Clack Shack meet and greet or Clack Shack meet and greet 2025, you will find it. It's been populating pretty well for me. So first of all, one of the machines that I'm going to have that I think is very versatile for somebody. If you're somebody that wants to do events, it's possible. There are some things with the way the cone works that might be a concern that you may need to watch for. But I have this little guy. All right. This one had been at my office at the PD for, I don't know, a year. I was using it to mark keychains and mark things for the PD, like when we purchased equipment. Because with this, you can mark plastics, you can mark metals, you can mark wood, whatever. Because this is the dual beam. This has got IR as well as the blue laser. The cool thing about this one is you can run this one really, once you practice, it's actually the software on the app, like on a phone or an iPad. It's not terrible. It's a little, the settings part, if you're used to light burn, takes a little bit of getting to understand it, but it does a pretty good job. And you can, like when you're framing it, you can take your finger on the phone and move the item and it'll move in the workspace. That's kind of neat. But I've been using this one in my office for about a year. It's in good shape. It really hasn't been abused because this one's actually been in a office type environment. It hasn't been living out here the whole time. So I got it. With it, it has accessories. So I have a rotary that's going to go with it. This one will only work with, well, I say it only work. I haven't tried it with any other machines, but this one is made for the laser pecker machines. It's got little USB connections back there. So I've got it that goes with it. Of course, this is all the cables and stuff like that. I may or may not let you have my box. We'll see. But I've got that. It also comes with this gently used laser pecker. This is like their little filter system. And by gently used, let me pop the top off of it. Well, there it is. It is gently used. Like I said, I used it in my office. So like this one probably needs to be blown out with the air hose. I'll probably blow that out with an air hose before I send it packing. But it does have it takes these little cartridges right here, and you can see this is not it's not dirty, but it has been used. So but slightly used filter. But I'll hit that with an air hose before it leaves here.
Perimeter alert, delivery box.
Okay, that's somebody exiting the property, so that's gonna be my daughter. But yeah, so there you go. This is also portable. It goes with it. Oh, this is not part of the deal. All right. Up next, some of you guys may or may not have seen this machine. Some of you guys may or not be a fan of it. Me personally, I think that it's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. But this is very capable. And it's been in my shop. I used it for probably a month or so, off and on. But I kept the box so I could put it in the box because I knew it was not going to be one that I wanted to keep. And that is, you're not going to be able to see it very good. This guy right here, which you're going to need to be in a substantial automobile. This is the WeCreate Vision 45 watt Pro with all of the
alert delivery box.
With all of this stuff inside there. So let's recap for a moment. All right, so the first one that we have is the Laser Pecker 4. Of course, it has the purifier also. So we're going to go up here. So let's go to products. Machines. So there's the LP4. So you're looking at $1,400 for this little machine if you had to buy it. And then you get the bundle with the, yeah, you get, do I have that? Hang on, let me go look. Let's see if I got that. Huh. I had that, but now I had two of these laser peckers. So I may have that one. That one may be with the LP5. But anyway, I've got the chuck, I've got the machine, and I got the purifier, the little filter box. So you're looking at a good, you're knocking on $2,000 worth there. So the other one that I have is the WeCreate 45 Pro. So this little guy, that's the one that's in the box over here, big box. So it's got I think there's nothing in there except for the air assist pump and the rotary, I think, are inside. Of course, these little things. I repackaged it. It's in the box. So all the junk should be in there. I don't know if it's got the honeycomb in there or not. I don't recall. I think it's just a blade bed. But anyway, the second box that we showed is going to be, that's the WeCreate. It's on the hand trucks right there. So those are two of the lasers so far. The third laser up for grabs is the WeCreate Lumos.
Perimeter alert delivery box.
Okay, this is weird. So give me just a second. All right. Apparently, my oldest daughter decided she was going to take the trash down. I mean, I appreciate it. But anyway, back to what we were saying. WeCreate Lumos. It's not a bad machine. It's better that they've done some tweaking to it. It's not terrible. If you can handle their software, it's not terrible. I have too many other machines that I'm more comfortable with, and so I use them. I will say it does a really good job on tumblers. The way that they made it, the fact that the little base connects to the rotary makes it really handy with tumblers. The only thing that you got to watch for is this shoulder on this chuck. I like making this a ring right here because if not, depending on your tumbler, this little rubber part, it goes up in there too far, and some of the tumblers start tapering right there. So what you want to do is you want to try to keep this part of exposed rubber the same as where the top would snap in, so that it's nice and flat and it doesn't push the tumbler off of the machine. And that's where I started making this little thing here. Other than that, the machine works fine. It's probably, out of all the machines that they have made, I mean, I do like this one better than some. So this one's going to be in the mix. I mean, this is a lot of stuff, guys. So we're up to like 3, 5. I don't know what this one. Let's see what this little guy right here runs. Lumos. Let's see. So the Lumos is about, with all the stuff, what we got here? Because I've got the rotary and the extension pack. So you're looking at another 18. Look at $1,800 worth right there. So yeah. Because I got this. And that as well. And I actually have the packaging for this. So that's pretty handy. I'll be able to put it back in the package. That's what these boxes here are. These are the boxes that the Lumos came in. So I'll be able to put those back together. So that's pretty much, that's going to be the 3 lasers that we got coming, which is somewhere around the ballpark of $6,000 to $7,000 worth. So it's not going to be something to sneeze at. Now, as far as the CNCs go, I've got 3 that I'm going to get rid of. All right. 2 of them, awesome. Can do pretty much any job that you want to do. The 3rd one, not a fan. I didn't do a video with it because it was one of those that I was working with a company and they just started sending me stuff, and they sent me a really big machine and they sent me this little guy. And I'm like, look, guys, my schedule does not allow me to do this much. And so after looking at this little machine, I was like, yeah, I don't want me. I mean, it will not benefit you for me on that one. So we're going to start with the CNCs that I do recommend. And these are actually 2 of the, if you're going to get a CNC and you've never ran one and you want one that you can make like legit stuff with, these are CNCs that I would recommend you get. So as far as being able to do that, relatively easy, pick it up, move it. This little guy is awesome for that. You have a smaller work area, but it's awesome for that. This is the Genmitsu 3020 Pro Max. This little guy is a tank. Like, you can do aluminum on this, you can do brass, you can do copper. This Z-axis is very sturdy for a small, compact CNC. You can see that it's very sturdy to be as small as it is. All of the extrusions and everything, more than adequate to do wood. I've had really good luck with this little machine. Like, I made some pretty cool stuff. It does have the 710 watt variable speed little spindle router from Genmitsu, a little offline controller over there. So I mean, this is a decent like machine. The cool thing about the way Genmitsu does things too is, in the event that you do tear up your, I think this one, does this one come with extra brushes? I don't see any brushes in there. There may be, but in the event that you do tear up this router and need to replace it, it's got this nice little quick disconnect up here at the top. a lot of them don't have that. So if you go get a Makita or a Bauer or something like that, you're not going to have this little disconnect. So you can swap this out, take it out to service it, put it back. It's not that big of a pain. So this will be the first machine as far as CNC that is going to be giveaway. I think it's a very capable little machine. Like I said, I don't know if you watched the videos. I do have videos on all these machines. It's very capable little CNC. I think it's a 3020 Pro Max is what they call it. So yeah, this is going to be it. Now, mine does have a little bit of an upgrade in the fact that I made like a little spoil board for it because I was afraid that I was gonna run one of my nice little genie bits into that work area. So I cut myself a piece of plywood and put it around there. But that is it right there as it sits. And you're looking at this machine, just that model with those setups is $449. And if you'll notice, that's with the regular spindle. Let me see if they got the one with the big spindle. No, not. Well, wait a minute. Here we go. That looks like it. 3020 Pro Ultra. That's going to be it. That's what this model's called. So it's got the like I said, it's got the spindle. It's a solid little machine. This one, if you want to get into CNCs and you've heard the stories that folks put out about, oh, you know, if you buy once, cry once, or whatever, this machine, other than the fact that you're limited on the work area to was 11.8 inches by 8.1. That's as big as the work area gets, which I think they do. They may sell an extension kit for. Other than that, this machine, if you can put it in there, it'll hold it. Whether it's wood, hardwood, softwood, MDF, copper, brass, any of the soft metals, aluminum. I mean, this machine can handle it. As long as you don't go too stupid with your speeds and feeds, you should be good. So this machine is in the drawing. So if you get lucky and you spin, you can get this guy if this is more suitable to you, or you can get the one I got coming up next. So let me move this one and we'll go get the other one. All right, so this one, although still portable, if you have a nice strong back or a good set of hand trucks or rolling cart, it's not as light. All right. And I really hate to part with this one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is one of those machines that this is not the very machine that was my first CNC, but this is, they took the machine that I had that was my first CNC. They took it, they pumped it full of steroids. They took it to the lab that they made Wolverine in. They injected it with all kinds of cool stuff, and they made this little beast. This guy right here is capable of making really cool CNC projects, and it works really well. So this is the same Smart 4040 Pro Max that me and Steve always tell you guys that it's a good machine, and it is a good machine. This one actually has with it the rotary also. So you're looking at, see, I'm trying to find it online. And like I said, I hate to get rid of this one. I ain't gonna lie to you, because it's a really nice machine. But like I said, I haven't used it in a little while. I've got other machines of this size work area that I can use. At this point, I'm just being a pack rat. So, but here it is. If you bought this machine without the rotary attachment, right now you're looking at $854. That's with everything except the rotary attachment that I've got going with it here. So I don't have a dust shoe with it. They never sent me. The rotary attachment right there is another $248. So yeah, you're looking at over $1,000 by the time you put it all together. Like I said, this machine will do aluminum. I've done it with it. It will do like brass and copper. As long as you get your speeds and feeds right, it does a really good job with woods. So yeah, that is a beast of a little CNC. There's nothing really bad I can say about it. And this one's already got Clack Shack and Cadence Manufacturing Jenny Bit stickers on it for you. So I'm not gonna pull those off. So that's the second CNC that I have. And this is, like I said, this is a workhorse right here. If you have the room for it and you get your pick and you want a CNC, this is a good one. If one of my family members was wanting to get into CNC, matter of fact, that's where a couple of my other Genmitsus are at, is family members that wanted to try it, but didn't have room for a big CNC. Yeah, Mark's saying he has the Pro version and it's a great CNC. Yeah, the Pro, the only difference between this machine and the Pro is this one has the upgraded Z and the upgraded Y axis, or X axis. The top right here is a little more robust on this one than is on the original Pro. And the Z axis, they rebuilt the Z axis and added a little bulk to it as well. So still 18 in my mind. Yeah, trade skill. But yeah, this is a good machine. And yeah. So let me move it off of this table. I'm gonna move it toward the door because it's going in the trailer here in just a second. And then we'll get the other machine that I'm not all that crazy about, but it's a brand new machine basically. And y'all can do what you want to. So let me move this out of the way. Heavy. Set it right here. I don't want to put it on the ground. All right, so I'm just dropping stuff. So this little guy, and I don't want to be too hard on it because I'm very critical and I'm very particular. It's a CNC. The cut area on that S4, that 4040 Pro is like 400 by 400 ish. I don't want to be too critical about it, but I think this thing right here, it's not terrible. The drive system, the control system is great for a laser. All right. So me personally, this isn't a CNC in my opinion. And I like the company. They make great lasers. They make good stuff. If you're just wanting to, like, let's say you're wanting to scratch with a real small 1/8 inch 3mm bit, you're wanting to scratch like some acrylics. Maybe you're just wanting to do, like, you're just wanting to engrave some door hangers or something that you're just going to like paint them. And then you want to use like a V-cut bit to engrave and call it done. You're not really wanting to do any cutting. Like, you're not wanting to get too aggressive and try to remove a lot of material. This might be right for you. Okay. It's not very solid and it lacks the ability to do deep cutting. There's a couple of people that have the machine and I've seen their videos and they seem to be pleased with it. But those are people who have never used a CNC and their expectations were blank, I guess. And so that's why I think maybe I've been a little hard on it. But it's a Asmer, it's the Ascarva 4S. It's not, the build quality for what it is not terrible. It's just not very rigid. And for those of you who have worked a CNC or know what a CNC is, you will understand when I show you this with one hand. All right. You can see it's just not, it's more like laser-ish. Like I can take, and then of course the Z-axis, it's it's just not. It's just not what I would prefer to use. But if you've never had one, it is free. And they do make a laser module for it. So worst case scenario, if you decide that you want to, you maybe this wasn't exactly what you planned on getting, but you wound up winning it anyway, then it's not all is not lost, because it does have potential. I mean, it runs smooth, and they've got it on Amazon right now for $5.99. And can it do this stuff? I mean, maybe. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the time to fool with it and try it. It didn't lead up to my expectations, but it might yours. It might be the machine that you needed. So it is what it is. It does have a 24-volt spindle. So I mean, it's not that it can't work. It's just not very sturdy, in my opinion. And that little 500-watt spindle, you can't upgrade the spindle because the Z-axis, to me, couldn't handle much more of a spindle than what it already has. They do sell, if you go to ASMR's website, they do sell a laser module kit for it. Me personally, I think it would probably, it'd probably do okay as a laser. I hate these pop-ups. Where is the machine at? Products for beginner, CNC router machine. There it is. So I saw the laser somewhere. Not seeing it now, but anyway. So this one's going to be in the mix as well. It does control using VCarve. It works. But just have expectations that it is not. This is not going to compete with that 4040 Pro Max or the 3020, or it's not made for that. It is not going to be able to handle that. This is, I would say, if you're going to do engraving only, you could do it. You could set it up. You would have to use conservative speeds. 3D engraving, poplar wood, some small stuff. I played around with it. But yeah, if you've got like I said, if you're somebody that likes to tinker and you've got a machine that, is smaller, that you know how to do, I mean, you could use the drive system works great. That's one thing I will say. The drive system, like the XY, the movement speeds, all that, it works great. It's rigidity is where they drop the ball. And being a laser company, trying to make a CNC, that happens a lot. But the build quality of it, other than that, it's not terrible. Like I said, doing acrylic, if you wanted to do like some acrylic things for, I guess you could say the night lights and stuff like that, because those don't require a whole lot of spindle, and you don't want to go real fast, because if you go real fast, you'll melt the acrylics. So I think it would do decent with acrylic stuff, but you can have to play with the settings. And I did not have the patience. And when they sent me this, they had sent me the X1 like right there beside it. The X1 they sent me got dropped in shipment, and some stuff got broke, and it was just a nightmare. And I basically told them, I'm not fooling with this little machine. If you want me to do the X1, this is going to go away. So that's what I did. So, and like I said, I have a hard time, because I am used to running that. I have a hard time with some of the small CNCs. I have a hard time finding nice things to say about them. But like I said, if you put a laser module on this, it's actually it's set up pretty decent. If you notice, it's got two steppers. Like, it's got a stepper on the right and a stepper on the left. So it's a dual stepper drive system, which is pretty good, because once you get the belts adjusted and everything, it's going to have a little more a little more pull to it. It's going to be smooth. You don't have the linkages. You ain't got that rod running across the middle of the workspace like you do with a lot of the lasers. So it's got the dual drive steppers in the back. It still has, like on the Z axis, it's got the little knobs. There are some things about it that's pretty cool. You could, for that matter, you could make a Sharpie. You could 3D print yourself a Sharpie for it. Little Sharpie holder thing. Use it for that. You can get yourself a cutting bit, you know, whatever. There's things that you can do with it, but it's just not something that's going to stay here. It's in my way, so it's going to be a giveaway. So you can pick this one if you want to. And I'm going to try, if we've got enough room, I'm going to actually try to set these machines up, like have them setting out at the event so that you can look at them. And that way, too, people that don't know what we do with lasers and CNCs will be able to look at them. So there you go. Yeah, Mark said you can get a module from Laser Tree. Yeah, like I said, you could slap a laser module on it and grab a honeycomb and a protective plate and have a decent little setup, because the drive system on it, the controls, as far as moving it and everything, it's not terrible, but it's just not very rigid. So for right now, let's see, make sure I got that one out there. So that's 3 CNCs and 3 lasers. So for right now, that's what's going to be going with me to the event for the meet and greet. And I apologize to those guys that if you can't make it, if it's too far, I get it. All right. And I would love to, you know, if I had my own shipping company or whatever and had plenty of room to keep boxes, I would love to be, I would love to be able to do more. But right now, this is what I got. No, Chris, the Fox Alien is not on the list. And the reason being is I want to keep a small CNC in the shop that I can use in videos to demonstrate to you guys and to other people that you don't have to have, like, you don't have to have that. Like, you don't got to have that to be able to enjoy CNCs. So it was a toss-up between the Genmitsu 4040 and the Fox Alien. But after I got that 1.5 kW spindle put on the Fox Alien, even though I really wish the Fox Alien had the drive screws rather than the belts, I haven't had any problems with it. And that gives me another thing that kind of leaned me towards wanting to keep it, is I don't have any experience with CNCs that use belts. So by having the Fox Alien, that gives me a machine that does use belts. Because right now I've got a belt-driven CNC and a lead screw, you know, linear rail CNC. So I have knowledge about both drive systems on the CNCs. With the Genmitsu 4040 Pro, it's kind of built with the linear rods and the ball screws or the lead screws, kind of like the Onefinity. So with me having the 2 different machines, I wanted to be able to have 2 different drive systems. And that 1500 kW spindle is awesome on my little Fox Alien. So I've got to keep at least one small CNC for, you know, for doing small projects and using it to teach guys. And I wanted to have the big CNC as well. So it's kind of a mix there. I am going to try, I'm going to be honest with you, I am going to try to crank out a couple of videos this week before I roll out of here with all these CNCs and stuff. I'm going to probably put the lasers in the trailer. And what I want to try to do is do a CNC, you know, how to pick the CNC for you type video. Because I see a lot of people talking about, if you don't buy a $3,000 CNC, you're going to regret it. And, you know, buy once, cry once. I hear that 1,000 times. If you can't afford a $3,000 CNC, then wait till you can. I mean, and I want to give my take on that. I'm not saying that my take is the correct take, but my take is you can get into it with, you know, depending on your criteria for your jobs and your expectations, you can get into it cheaper than that. That's, I don't know why that, is common. But I do want to try to make a quick little video probably tomorrow. I don't know. I got things I want to do today, but probably tomorrow I'm going to do a quick little video on CNCs and the different price range and what to look for, what to expect, what to take into consideration when picking out a CNC. I kind of think that might be a decent video to do before I get rid of all these other smaller CNCs that are in the shop. Because I took a picture earlier and I had like 5 CNCs sitting over there, or 6. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could probably do that. But that's what I've got going on today, guys. I'm going to show you what the machines are if you plan on coming. Great. I'll see you guys Thursday or Friday, whenever you get here. If you're going to be in town Thursday night around supper time. Now, if you're getting here at like 3 in the morning, don't, I'm not going to be there. But if you're going to be here Thursday, let's say if you're going to be in town between 5 and 8 Thursday night, there's a chance that we may be going to get something to eat. I got a couple folks that have messaged me saying they're going to be in town early. So there's a couple places in town that sell like hot wings, and it's kind of like a little, it's not really a Buffalo Wild Wings, but it's kind of Buffalo Wild Wings-ish, but it's a local place. So I'll probably try to get up with them and maybe meet there, have a bite to eat, just sit, shoot the breeze for a few minutes. Thursday. I can't stay out too late because I got to be back up ready to go Friday morning. But that's what we got going on this week. Links are below. Make sure you go in there if you're planning on coming and go ahead and register for the drawing. And if you're not going to be there, registering for the drawing is a waste of your time, because if you're not there to say, here I am, and come pick up your piece of equipment and take it with you, then it's not going to work for you. So, but that's about it. That's all I got. If y'all want to comment, if y'all got some questions, I see some folks commenting, so I'm going to check with those before we exit out of here. But yeah, if you got any more questions or whatever, let me know. And I know there's going to be 1,000 people that are going to be sarcastic and critical about how I'm doing this, how I'm doing that. This is not fair. It's not this. I can't help it, guys. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I hope that most of you understand, the situation. And, I can't give, it's not free lasers for everybody. I ain't got it like that. But I try to give back as much as I can, when I can, however I can. I know, like I said, me and Steve both do that. We do have, because like poor old Chris Gallagher, I mean, Chris comes and watches the videos, and he's all the way over in Australia. And I mean, yeah, he could, like the digital stuff, like we do a lot with Amazon gift cards around Christmas. And the reason we do is because I'm pretty sure Amazon's available most everywhere. Maybe you don't have the same products as other people have, but I think an Amazon gift card could be redeemed by most anybody that has internet. I think. I could be wrong. But so we like doing the Amazon gift cards around Christmas. We also like cooperating with companies that do internationally ship, which we've got some of that coming up. So we got some companies coming up that some of them are based out of China, some of them are based out of the US, but basically if you win, they're going to ship it to you. And so far we haven't been given any restrictions. Not to say that they won't come, but so far we haven't. And that's what we want to try to do. So, hopefully this helps. And, the good news is instead of me going on Marketplace and selling all this stuff, which I could do, you guys are going to have a chance, especially the ones that can make it, are going to have a chance to take it home with you. Because somebody's going to be taking home altogether, I mean, $8,000 probably, I guess, about $8,000 worth of stuff, maybe. Everything totaled. And then that's without adding the added value of the fact that I've touched it. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist, guys. That was funny. I thought, I was messing with, who was I was messing with? But I was like, yeah, well, normally they sell for like $1,000, but since it's been in my shop and I've touched it, then that makes it worth like at least $1,200, right? But yeah. Chris, he's looking forward to winning that $1 million Amazon card. Maybe if we were talking pesos, or what's the things, the yen or something like that, maybe. Oh, but anyway, guys, I appreciate you, and I hope the ones of you that get to make it have a safe trip. I hope everything's going to be to your liking. I'm going to try to get some more content out about where to go, what to do, all that. Like I said, if you're going to be in town early, shoot me an email, clack@theclackshack.com. Let me know. Give me your phone number, however you want me to get in touch with you so that I can give you a call or whatever. And I do hope to take some folks and just have a kind of a guys' night the night before maybe, and then the day of. Now, I know some of you are going to be driving in that day because you're not that far away, and that's cool too. It'll be a fun day. Like I said, I'll be there from like 10 to 4. My booth's probably not going to be that busy, so we can hang out there. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, and I'm going to get this stuff boxed, some of this stuff boxed up and everything. I'm going to put back out in the trailer, getting it ready, because instead of having to put all this stuff in the back of my truck the morning of, I'm just going to load it all in the box trailer, and then the night before, I'm hooking to the box trailer, and I'm rolling out of here. So you'll know where the machines are when you're in the right place when you see the portable clack shack sitting out front. All right, last call. I'm looking through the comments, make sure what we got going on down there. How about signed 8x10 glosses? Yeah, I don't think nobody wants that. There will be some pictures. I'll be there for selfies. Not more said I had to clean my truck out. Craft fair in 2 weeks. Yeah, I used to do that. Was part of the thing when I first started doing shows, man. It would wear you out because before you leave, you had to take everything, put it on the trailer or in the truck, and this trailer has been a blessing. It cost me a little bit of money, but it's been a blessing. Matter of fact, I got to go get a tag for it today because I was noticing yesterday. Apparently, either I bought the tag and I didn't put the sticker on there, or I didn't buy the tag. I'm not sure, so I got to go do that. But anyway, see you guys. Be sure to check the link, and there's the link to the meet and greet if you're late to the show. Also on my website, which is the main website from there. If you're coming to the meet and greet, make sure you sign up for the drawing to win some of this stuff. So till next time, guys, see you. Be safe.